I was doing some research regarding the Philippines and dating in the Philippines, stuff along those lines. And I came across quite a few videos that were concerning. Right, I came across quite a few videos that were concerning with regards to dating in the Philippines. Listen, I know the Philippines gets a lot of slack. I know people talk crap about the Philippines, right? But is some of it rightfully deserved, right? Is some of it rightfully deserved, right? Before I start this vlog, this documentary regarding the Philippines, let me say a few things. And I might talk about this one day, but when I was in the Philippines last, I didn't do great, right? It was quite a few years ago when I was in the Philippines last, in Quezon City. I didn't do great, right? When I put my Tinder in the Philippines a couple of weeks ago, I didn't do great, right? I'm just telling you from experience, I didn't do great, right? Uh, I feel, right, not just based on people's opinion online and TikTok and YouTube. I feel from someone who's put their Tinder in the Philippines, from someone who's been to the Philippines, that the Philippines might not be the place for us, right? Let's just watch some of these videos.
I've been called the N word several times in the Philippines by kids, and I've been wondering why kids want to call me the N word.
All right, now let's talk about something real quick. Let's talk about something real quick, if we may, right? Let's talk about something. Um, there is no place for uh the N word being called to anyone. People gonna be like, hey, y'all call it to each other. Some of y'all say it to each other just because, right? And we'll talk about that in another video. That's kind of irrelevant. Just because you hear someone else saying it doesn't mean you should repeat it, right? Didn't your parents teach you that don't repeat everything you hear, right? Your parents taught you that at a young age, right? So a lot of the times people use the excuse, not just in the Philippines, but people use the excuse that I heard you say it, or I heard your friend say it, or I heard this person say it, or I seen it on a television show, or I seen it in a music video, so I can say it. That's not really a valid excuse, a valid rebuttal for saying the N word, right? And as you look at these comments, right, if you look at this comment right here, right to the right, as a Filipino growing up, I thought the word means bro or my guy. Our schools and families teach us about racism. I know some people, even grown ups now, still think it's not a big deal. Listen, as a Filipino, he said that people use those words freely. This is as a Filipino. He said this in the comments that people use those words freely in the Philippines. So, as a traveler, an expat, a gringo, a passport bro, whatever title or name do you want to give yourself, right? You have to ask yourself one question: do you want to go somewhere where this is okay? Right? Do you want to live somewhere where this is okay? Do you want to be surrounded by a culture, a whole group of people where this is okay? Yes. Yeah, when we were young, black American music always have the word. It confused me when I learned that it was actually offensive. If you want to confuse people, maybe you should move to the Philippines. If you want to feel left out, disregarded, felt like a red-headed stepchild, maybe consider moving to the Philippines. If there is one country where I was to say, do not move to the Philippines as a person of color, the Philippines will most will for sure be on my list. Right, the Philippines will for sure be on my list because they have almost made the use of the word acceptable. For one, it's must understand that most Filipinos do not know racism because we also have all sorts of skin colors ourselves as Filipinos. Okay, so you can't you how you going to use the word you don't know the meaning of? Right? Get on. We're in the AI age, right? We're in 2026. We're in the AI age. Get on Chat GPT, right? Get on one of these 3,000 AI apps. Get on Google, Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo, Firefox, Chrome, Internet Explorer, Edge, and Google the definition of the N word and see what it says. And it's like you speeding, right? You're going down the highway, right? And the speed limit's 55 and you thought it was 65 and you're going 75 and the police pull you over and they say, hey, you know why you were speeding? You was like, no, I was going 75, right? I thought the speed limit was 65 and they say, no, the speed limit's 55. That's 20 miles over. Reckless driving. Take this ticket. Or you go and do something, you jaywalk or you spit on the sidewalk or you curse, use profanity, or you do something that you didn't know was illegal, or you exceed the boundaries of the legal system, and you say I didn't know. You can't get caught driving over the speed limit with the assumption that the speed limit was a lot closer to the speed you were going than it was. Not knowing something is wrong does not justify it being wrong. And when people try to justify what they said, what everyone else says, how they grew up, their family, their friends in school, when people are trying to justify it instead of, listen, all I want is an apology. All I want is change behavior. Did you read these comments? None of these Filipinos are offering none of such. Yeah, you may see a few, but everyone's just trying to justify it. I bet it was in the music. We called each other that. Okay, because you called each other that, you should call me that. This is what it said. Because you call each other that, you should call me that. Listen to this. Because you call someone else that, your family, you should call me. You should call me the same words that you call your family and your friends. And I'm a stranger. I'm a foreigner. I'm a gringo. I'm a passport bro. Listen, if you were thinking about going to the Philippines, maybe you should second guess yourself.
Filipinos are racist towards black foreigners.
Listen, you don't even got to hear the whole video. You really don't have to hear the whole video. You really don't. Listen, here's another one. I'm Filipino, and yes, racism is big in the Philippines. All countries have racial problems. Okay, because all countries have racial problems, it's okay to be racist in the Philippines. That's what you're saying. Because all countries have racism problems, it's okay to be racist in the Philippines. But read it again. I'm Filipino, and yes, racism is big in the Philippines, but all countries have racist problems. Let's go to another one. Right. Let's go to another. Yeah, we don't even have to go to another one. Like this gentleman, what's the guy's name? Global something, right? Global something. Global CZ. This gentleman has made more than one video about racism in the Philippines. More than one video about racism in the Philippines. So this isn't something I made up. This isn't AI. This isn't. This is it. More than one person has talked about racism in the Philippines. Look at Global Glizzy. So I don't know, Global something, whatever his name is. Check that guy's TikTok out. Right, I'm sure he has a YouTube because he has his name down at the bottom of the screen. Check it out with regards to people that look like us going to the Philippines. Because I watched quite a few videos yesterday, and the thing: everyone can't be lying. When there's multiple videos of multiple people actually walking through the Philippines, saying that they have had issues with dating or meeting people, they even call names. There's a video of the last guy that was in that I showed. He said that I don't know it's him or another guy. He said that they were Filipino only restaurants. He said that they were Filipino only restaurants. Think about it. He said that they were Filipino only restaurants. Let me look at something real quick. Let me look at something. Let me look at something. Give me a second. Let me look at something. I'm gonna do y'all a favor. Watch this. Watch this. There were Filipino only restaurants. The average salary, according to ChatGPT, is $400 to $800 a month. The average salary, according to ChatGPT, is $400 to $800 a month. I was making more than $400 a month when I was 15 working at McDonald's. I was making more than $400 a month when I was 15 working at McDonald's, 16 working at McDonald's. In a country such as the Philippines, should they be saying that we have Filipino only restaurants? Let's be honest. I mean, in theory, right? In theory, right? I mean, there's people in the Philippines that have money, right? I'm not saying the whole country's full of poverty and broke people, but in theory, right? If the average salary is $400 to $700 a month, in theory, right? In theory, someone's probably not going there to spend $100 on a meal. Someone's probably not going there to spend $75 on a meal. So in theory, if I was a restaurant in any country and my average salary was $400 to $700 a month, I'd probably be catering to the tourists. Would you rather, if the average salary in the entire country is $400 to $700 a month, and the business is based on making profit, 99.9% of businesses are based on making profit. Are you trying to cater towards the local population that's probably not going to spend that much money, or the tourists that's probably going to swipe their credit cards, or yeah, or $100 meal means nothing to them? Every time I go on vacation, I love seafood. Find me a seafood restaurant. Bring some shrimp, bring me some scallops, bring me some lobster, bring me some shoot. I've never in my life been to a restaurant and they said locals only. So you gotta ask yourself something. Men, travelers, expats, vloggers, gringos, passport bros. Do you want to live in a country that has Filipino only restaurants? Think about it. Do you want to live in a country that has Filipino only restaurants and they normalize saying the N word? Listen, I don't really get up here to bash countries, but from my experience in the Philippines, right, from putting my TikTok, I mean my Tinder in the Philippines a couple of weeks ago, and I had considered going to the Philippines. But here's the thing: if I see five guys say they had five bad experiences, I don't need to go to the Philippines to be the sixth. Let me repeat that again. If I see five guys say they had five bad experiences, I don't need to go to the Philippines to be the sixth. If I see five guys say they had if I see five guys that said they had five bad experiences, I don't need to go to the Philippines to be the sixth. And it's more than five. It's a lot of guys. don't really speak highly of the Philippines. Yet all their guys that have relationships in the Philippines and wives, yes, I've seen those TikToks too. No disrespect. Are they the best looking Filipinos I've ever seen in my life? No. Do I think they're attractive? No. A lot of I ain't trying to go in on guys that's married to Filipinos, but a lot of the guys that I have seen last night on TikTok and social media that's married to Filipinos, they got threes, fours, below average looking women. Like, I'm not going. Listen, I say this a lot. I'm not going overseas to get no average looking woman that I could have found in the state. I'm not. Like, if I post my ex-wife, which I've done, she beats out most women in the world. She beats out every woman. My ex-wife beat African Queen. Might give her a run for money. I'm lying. My ex-wife beats every woman that I've ever dated since her, and this was a gazillion years. My ex-wife, let me repeat it, my ex-wife beats out every woman that I've ever dated since her, and this was a gazillion years ago. And I married her expeditiously. I'm not going overseas to marry no 3 and no 4 and no 5 like a lot of these guys are doing in the Philippines and a lot of other countries. I'm just not. A lot of guys are going, oh, she submissive, she cooks. Yeah, but she's ugly. Like, if she's attractive, we can, you know, turn the blind eye to some things that she may or may not do. But I gotta look at you. I gotta look at you when your clothes off. I gotta sleep beside you. I gotta wake up and see your face. A lot of the other stuff we can work on. Like, I don't really need you for that. Like, I can cook. Like, I can do my clothes. I prefer. Like, I've had this. I talked about this in my video about African Queen. Like, I prefer to do my clothes. She's always washing my clothes. I said, don't touch my clothes. She washed my clothes. I prefer to wash my own clothes. A lot of guys just want maids and slaves, and maybe that's another video. But a lot of these guys in the Philippines, no disrespectfully, but a lot of these guys in the Philippines they're not with attractive Filipinos. A lot of probably every brother that I've seen that was married to someone in the Philippines, these women are not attractive by Filipino standards because Filipino standards are skinny and thin. And the ones I see were not skinny and thin. But they're not attractive by Filipino standards, American standards, European standards, African standards. They're not attractive by anyone's standard. And no disrespect. Now, hopefully, none of these guys watch my video, but none of the guys that I've seen that's married to a Filipino on YouTube and TikTok are with anyone that's attractive. None of the brothers are with anyone that's attractive. This is what I want to say. I don't think the Philippines is a passport bro location. I don't think it's a place to go and find your wife and your girlfriend, your fiance. Go to find your spouse. I just don't think it is. And when I was in the Philippines last, and I talk about this sometimes off and on, I met this woman and she was talking about, oh, when it rains, my house leaks and this, that, and the third. Listen, I understand poverty, right? I didn't grow up in 90210, right? But I don't want a woman in poverty. Like, if you're bringing problems to my relationship, I do not want you. Unless you're built heavy in the rear end, heavy in the chest. I don't want a woman bringing problems to my. I don't want a woman that brings problems to my relationship. Yeah, you're cute. I want to get to know you, but you're bringing problems. If you're struggling and you're in poverty and your house leaks when it rains and you use the bathroom outside and you don't have running water and you use the bathroom in the shed in the backyard and you can't flush the toilet or you burn your feces, you're bringing problems to my relationship because I already know off the bat you're gonna want money. And I'm gonna talk about not dating women that bring problems and finances and bills into your relationship in another story. But don't date women that's listen, I'm not saying every woman in the Philippines is living in poverty, man. But what I'm saying is when I was there, I met this woman and she told me when it rains her house leaks. Why would I want to be in a relationship with you? Because every time we talk, we're gonna have problems. Every time it rains, I gotta hear my house is leaking. Hint, hint. Knock, knock. Wink, wink, wink. My house is leaking. I don't have running water. Wink, wink, wink. I don't have heat in my house. Wink, 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 wink. Listen, I just don't think I was looking at going to the Philippines, man. I know I don't suggest people like me go to the Philippines, man. First and foremost, I like a voluptuous woman, man. I don't see a lot of Dominican and Brazilian and Colombian and African and Ghanaian and Rwandan and South African built women in the Philippines. I don't see any in the Philippines. That's me. People, oh, she's thick. Yeah, she's thick. She's kind of chubby, like thick as in she needs to do some workouts. But no disrespect, but I've never seen. I could go find a picture of African Queen, right? People, oh, there's thick Filipinos in the Philippines. I can go find a picture of African Queen, right? And bet you $100 you can't find me five Filipinas in the whole country that look like. I'm being honest. I can go find a picture of African Queen. My, I can go find a picture of my ex-wife. I can go find a picture of my ex-wife and bet you $500 you couldn't find 10 women in the whole country of the Philippines that look anything like her, built like her. So a lot of people's their definition of thick is definitely not my definition of thick. They just think because a woman's not skinny, she's thick. No, she's chubby. No, she's fat. No, she got a stomach. No, a lot of people mix up thick and fat. Let's be honest. So what I'm trying to say is my definition of thick isn't the Filipino. Like it's not there with the racism and the Filipino only restaurants, and you can find a video yourself. The guy said they made him put on a mask because they thought he stinked or something, whatever the case may be. To the women and the poverty and the problem. Listen, no disrespect. You like what you like. I like what I like. It's okay to not like these. It's okay to like the things that I don't like, but I don't suggest and I don't see why anyone that looks like me could, would, or should consider Philippines as a place to go and find their wife. Do your research. Don't listen to me. Do your research. I try to give it to you. Pause. I try to give you some examples of some videos, but do your research. I don't. When you're looking at going to the Philippines to settle down and find your wife, as I've said before, if five guys tell me they had five bad experiences, don't go to the Philippines to be the sixth. Don't. Please. I'm begging you.